found the official Experience Jackson podcast, your guide to visiting Jackson County, Michigan. From where to stay to insights on how you can play, where you can eat, and insider tips to create your memorable experience in Jackson County. Come on over. And today on the show, we have Tom Knutson, the owner of Knutson's Sporting Goods in Brooklyn. And Tom, we're excited to talk with you today. Before we get into the show, really quick though, I just want to remind people that you can actually download the official Experience Jackson app to enhance your experience and your visit in Jackson County. It's packed full of self-guided tours, a calendar of events, a guide to pinpoint attractions. You can even map out your visit to Jackson County with just a few clicks. The Experience Jackson app is free on both Google Play and the App Store, and you can also find information at experiencejackson.com. So as mentioned, Tom Knutson with me today. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just got to do one thing. I am the owner's son.
Oh, the owner's son. There we go. We need to make sure. Yeah, we want to point attention to them. And I love that about Knutson. It's a very family oriented business. We could say it's a store. We could say it's a shop. I refer to it as an attraction. I really think people will drive quite a way to find the kinds of things that you guys have. Big variety.
Constantly. Yeah. My son came, I was working on the north side in our wholesale business the other day. My son came in, he said, I just walked out of the store and there were 5 different states plates in the parking lot.
Did you take a picture?
At that point. No,
blur out the numbers. Common. There we go. That's true.
It's common. It's very common. But a lot of that are people who have left the area, come back to visit, and are here visiting their family that remains here. So it's not uncommon to see that. Good. Quite often.
And do you find that in the sporting goods world, there's probably an element of tradition too? People traditionally that come back a certain time of year to visit with old pals or make an outing to the Brooklyn area to stop by specifically.
Especially for those that have left the area who graduated or went to school here, and then their core family's still here, but they may have gone to Chicago, New York, wherever to make their living. It happens quite often.
Okay. Well, I know walking around the store, I've been there a couple times. Actually, I was there last week checking out stuff. I can't believe how many fishing poles you have. It's appropriate, of course. What is it, 52 lakes within
We have about 52 lakes within 15 miles of our location of Brooklyn.
That's incredible.
And that encompasses 2 other counties. So, but yeah, we're very, very lucky. It's not by accident that we were there. My parents came from Minnesota, the Annandale, Minnesota area, which is identical to Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
As far as the number of lakes in the same location, that's where they grew up. They have their Jackson was St. Cloud, their Detroit is Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Okay. Oh,
very
wow.
Similar distances,
Kinda
all the same reasons that people come to the lakes in Brooklyn were the same reason that they went to the lakes there in Annandale.
And, when it comes to those waters, of course, there is fishing all year long. Ice fishing is huge in Michigan, especially in this area. Regular fishing. I saw on your Facebook page recently you highlighted some kids showing off their catches, kind of thing. What are some of the other things that you guys carry big selections of?
Well, we have a huge selection of waterfowl. We're one of the largest waterfowl dealers in the country, probably in the top 5. So that was just out of our timing when I was growing up that my dad and myself got into waterfowling, and so we just kind of grew that part of the business. Okay. And we've continued to maintain it, even though waterfowling in Michigan's not at a peak, but we still maintain it because we ship decoys all over the world.
Yeah, really. They're really fun to look at. Yeah, they're all interesting. I was petting one of their heads.
Yeah, and we have the largest selection of physical decoys in the United States. So.
Wow, impressive. I know outside lining the exterior of your building is all sorts of canoes and duck boats and things too. Yeah, kayaks.
We're big on kayaks, because of all the lakes and rivers that we have.
Do you paddle boards too?
When they're available.
Okay. Is that?
Yeah, the sources that we use right now, and we try to stay at the lower end, more affordable type stuff. So those are still a little hard to get.
I feel like that's something that's gained a lot of popularity too.
It is. I think it has. There's a lot of new technology coming out with different type of blow-ups. Blow-up paddle boards are actually becoming really popular because you can pack them down, put them in any kind of travel trailer or anything like that. So it takes up less space. There's some really neat blow up type equipment that's coming out of the market. That's heavy duty stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat to see that new technology being used.
Okay. And you can help people take care of everything from grills to their beach. You can all the tools to do that.
Lake life. Yeah. We
yes,
call it
or
summertime. We call it fishing and lake life.
There we go. Okay.
Docks, especially, we're big in docks. Then from there we go into the season that's coming up now, which would be the hunting seasons, and we can any kind of hunting season that's available, and then we go right into what we like as our favorite season, but it can be the busiest, but then it can be a no season because like last year, no ice, but ice fishing is one of our favorite times of year.
That definitely makes sense in the area. Let's say someone is thinking of coming to the Jackson County area for the first time. They're like, where do we go? Once I get there, what kind of help am I going to get in the store? Is this a place where people can come ask questions?
Absolutely.
I imagine all your employees are pretty well versed.
They're very good at taking care of first timers.
Okay.
All the way up to the experienced.
Great.
I mean, it's very, and I really like taking care of the first timers because if we do it right, we do our job right, and we make them feel that like they're not asking, because no question is a dumb question. If they're not asking a dumb question, they'll come back and over again if we done our job right.
That's what I was going to say. Your staff probably has passion in what you do, and that's why they're there.
Yep.
To be able to share. That's awesome to be able to do that. We mentioned people coming in out of town. During each of our podcasts, we also do a hotel highlight. So we're going to stop and do that for just a second. This episode, we're going to take a look at Super 8 Brooklyn, which is about 10 steps
It's not very far
out your back door.
No.
Super 8 Brooklyn is located near the Michigan International Speedway. Each comfortable room includes free Wi-Fi with a large banquet space as well. It's perfect for weddings, meetings, and more with a capacity of about 230. They've got AV equipment, air conditioning, bartending services, and more. You can make plans for your stay at this and any of our other Jackson County hotels at experiencejackson.com. Speaking of finding Knutsons, Tom, you guys have just recently refreshed a bit of a landmark in front of your building. Tell me about him.
Yeah, our friend Paul Bunyon. He
You
came
can't
to us
miss it.
about 13 years ago when Stagecoach Stop closed up. The owners had asked my dad if we were interested in purchasing the 17-foot tall Paul Bunyon
huge.
from them. And my dad says, yeah, he wanted it. My dad has always been very good about promotion, different types of promotion, all the way back from when he dressed my sister and myself into prize fighters for the snowmobile business when we were in that. So it was no surprise that we were, when that came available, he wanted it. And the problem was making it conform to zoning and making it
because in the village of Brooklyn, of course, signage and everything. I could see that. Yeah, he's definitely towering.
We worked with the village, and we all worked a happy situation where they wanted it and how it was going to be and stuff like that. So he was freshly painted when we put him in 13 years ago, and as the heat and the winter and the sun, he needed a fresh paint job, and so we got a new paint job on him this spring with some new types of paint, and he really looks good. He's shiny and holding the big American flag.
That's what I was going to
now.
say. He's waving the flag constantly. Yep. Good job, buddy.
Yep, he does, and he'll hold a Christmas tree around Christmas time. So if anybody comes out to night lights out at the racetrack, they can stop by and see Paul holding his big 14-foot Christmas tree.
Oh, that's awesome.
Kind of looks like a little tiny Christmas tree, but it's 14 foot.
To him, yeah. And we're getting close to hunting season here. People may be thinking of coming into town for that. Any tools or advice you'd give to them as they're coming in the area?
Hunting is, it's always location, and so it's a little tougher than, say, fishing, where fishing has a lot more opportunity for everybody. And hunting gets a little narrower because access is always a problem.
Oh, sure.
It's deer hunting's big. It's going to be a big year for deer, as long as we keep away from EHD, which is a type of midge fly that affects deer, and it looks like we'll be all right with the type of rains that we've been getting. So I think we're going to see a very big deer season because of the amount of deer that are out and about everywhere.
Great. That's the kind of advice I would expect if I walked it in.
And the car repair business should be very good this fall.
We love those special connections with our furry friends, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just as we close out, one room that my little boys enjoyed when we stop by is the room with all the worms.
The bait room. Yep, the separate room. We made that separate when we built that store. We wanted it to be totally separate so that it could be give the feel of an old style of a traditional bait shop that you would see in most places, along with the access to the big store. So yes, it has its own atmosphere, especially in the wintertime when there's 50 people in line trying to get minnows and getting ready to go out ice fishing.
Alrighty. Well, awesome. If people want to get more on Knutson Sporting Goods, where would they go, or who would they call?
They can call us here. Call us at Brooklyn at 517-592-2786, or KnutsonSportingGood.com, or KnutsonDecoys.com, or KnutsonLiveBait.com, depending on what.
And let's help them out, too. Let's spell Knutson's.
Knutson.
We got it. Tom Knutson, son of the owner of Knutson Sporting Goods in Brooklyn, one of our villages within Jackson County. Thanks for stopping in today.
Well, thank you for having us.
You've been listening to the official Experience Jackson podcast, your guide to visiting Jackson County, Michigan. Plan your visit at our website at experiencejackson.com or through our free Experience Jackson app in Google Play and the App Store. We'll see you in Jackson.